Hi, I'm Josh Lambert, a group product manager here at GitLab, and today I'd like to talk about the changes and features that our database group is planning to make in our 13.1 release. 13.1 is planned to be released to everyone on June 22nd. First, we have up here our team board. You can see we have still a number of issues open from 13.0. We expect a number of these to be closed. However, some of them will likely carry through. So we are planning some room in 13.1 to make sure we can finish up on the ones that we don't. The key change we're making here, the key focus area for the team, is to implement sharding for our Postgres database. And so you can see we have an epic here, which we've been executing on for some time, the last couple of milestones. And right now we are focusing on partitioning. So we have now upgraded to PG11, Postgres 11 for GitLab.com. And as of 13.0, which releases in just 7 days from now, this recording, on May 22nd, we will be requiring Postgres 11 for all of our customers. And this now allows us to go ahead and take advantage of partitioning here in subsequent releases. And so we've had some work laying the foundation for that, and now I'm very excited for us to be able to go ahead and actually implement partitioning these next couple milestones. The first table that we are looking at implementing partitioning on is our audit events table. It is a very large table, but it also isn't terribly widely used across GitLab, like some other tables like issues. And so it's a good test area for us to tackle first. And once we have a good strategy for this, we'll then replicate it on one of the more challenging tables like issues to make sure we start with an easy one, pick a really hard one, and then if we can do both of those, the rest of the table should follow along. So on the partitioning for audit events side of things, you can see we have a number of issues that we're executing on here in this release, as well as also hopefully finishing up in 13.0 as well. We are, number one, going to be evaluating different partitioning key options for the audit events table. Right now, we've been exploring essentially the timestamp of the audit event. That way, it aligns nicely to many of the workflows that the audit events table is utilized for. Right? Oftentimes, we're focused on the most recent audit events, and if you need to go back in time, it's easier to have that sharded across different places, or do perhaps a bulk export if you'd like to as well, to sift through things on your own. And so according to the access patterns, that aligned pretty nicely. We're also looking to explore the namespace option for the partitioning key. This has other benefits at a higher strategic level around isolation between customers and some other potential benefits. And so we're going to be evaluating these two options and doing some testing in this particular release. We're also measuring the baseline performance of this because partitioning can implement some planning overhead. And so I'll make sure we have a good handle on those, as well as also exploring more ways to enforce the partitioning key to be utilized in queries. Without it, it can take a much longer time to complete. And so this is the key things that the team is working on. This is a relatively smaller team than most engineering teams here at GitLab. And so it is a relatively correspondingly smaller set of issues we're working on. And of course, also these tend to be some pretty big, hefty things that we are working on, namely doing the first implementation of partitioning for our database. So those are the key aspects that we're working on this release. There are a few other things we're working on as well. If we go into the 13.1 around just general improvements to database usage in GitLab, like some Rubicon improvements and things like that. But again, the key focus for the team, and will be continuing to be a key focus, is delivering on partitioning and sharding to continue to buy additional performance and headroom for our larger GitLab instances, as well as also GitLab.com. If you have questions or suggestions on how to implement a better database architecture and partitioning, if you've experienced with Postgres, come find us in these issues. We would love your expertise and knowledge. And of course, we'll be looking forward to delivering these in 13.1 and continuing to execute on the overall partitioning and sharding plan going forward. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next release.